Hello and welcome to Read the Last Page,
A book club
YAP session.
with your two favorite long-distance best friends. I'm your host, Dan.
And I'm your host, B. How are you doing this Saturday as we're recording, Wednesday as we're posting?
Can't speak too much for Wednesday, but today I'm feeling so great.
Good.
Yeah, I love a Saturday. Everyone loves a Saturday. But yeah,
Yeah.
I'm doing good. I'm still waiting for the weather to like officially drop in Missouri because
Yeah.
she keeps psyching us out. Like, it'll be 60 degrees for like 1 week and then we're back to the 80s.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's supposed to be really good next week, but I did just come back from the East Coast and like the weather there every single day was like in the 60s. I was living my best life. It was so good.
Yeah.
And then I came back here and I was like, oh my gosh. I think what really kills me is like the humidity though.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, like I can't with the humidity. It makes everything 10 times worse.
Right.
So not for me so much. But otherwise I'm doing well as I can be. So yeah.
Okay, good.
How are you doing?
I'm good. The weather is definitely, it's getting chilly here. The other day when I woke up, it was like 47 degrees outside.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, which by the time I left my house, it was like, it was in the 50s, close to 60. It later got up, I think the high was like 70. But yeah, but that's like the high. So it's definitely chilling,
Gotcha.
getting chilly, you know?
Yeah.
So, but I'm doing super amazing because I haven't told you this yet, but my sister had her baby.
Oh my gosh. Wait,
Yeah.
I forgot that she was due so soon. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, tell me everything.
So Mary had her baby yesterday, which is her first baby. So we're all just like so excited for her, because it's just so exciting. And he was a boy, and we knew he was a boy. They'd already told us that, but they wouldn't tell us the name. Mary and my brother-in-law Riley, they had already picked it out actually, and Mary sent us a picture of like the baby's nursery room, and they actually had the name like on something that's like on the wall, but they had like covered it up with like cardboard so we couldn't see it. So like they knew the name, but they didn't want to say until like he was actually born. But his name is Leroy Noah, which is so cute. It's my dad's middle name is Leroy.
Really?
So
That is
yeah.
so cute. Okay.
yeah, it is so cute because yeah, I just love like that he's named after my dad, kind of. I don't know. I haven't like asked if Noah is maybe in like my brother-in-law's family at all or anything, or if they just liked it. I'm not sure. Because this was like late last night. So, but yeah, he was kind of a big baby.
Really?
It's like, I think he was 8 pounds, 8 ounces, which I think is pretty big.
Yeah, yeah.
And especially like, you know, my sister's small, so you know, but she did it, and like we're so excited. Like I'm so excited, and she sent a picture of like the 3 of them, and Mary and Riley are smiling, holding the little baby, and it just like makes me so happy. Yeah, I'm like having tears come to my eyes as I talk about it. I'm just like so happy for her.
Yeah.
And I'm going home, you know, in November, like in a few weeks, so I'll get to meet him.
Yeah.
So,
girl,
yeah.
congrats. That's incredible. For some reason, when you told me you had news, I wasn't thinking at all about Mary's pregnancy. I completely forgot. Oh my god, that's the best news ever. I'm like so excited for everybody in your family now.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Yeah, this is my 10th
Oh my gosh, yes.
niece and nephew.
Wow. Girl,
Yeah.
that's insane to me.
Yeah, so my parents have 10 grandkids now, and actually it's my grandpa, so my mom's dad, his 25th great grandchild.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I bet it's going to be so fun for those kids to grow up with that many cousins.
Yeah.
Like, that's incredible.
Right. Because it's like, so Leroy already has 9 cousins.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, when we go to, like, stuff that's, like, my mom's family, like, the whole side of the family, then it's like my cousins bring their kids, and that's how we get, like, the 25 little ones, you know?
Yeah.
Which is just crazy.
Just 25
we
children.
got a big family.
Yeah, that is insane. Well, yay.
Yeah.
Congrats.
So, thank you.
Yeah.
There now I have 8 nephews and 2 nieces.
I was going to ask what technically the nephew-niece ratio was.
Yeah.
Man,
I
that's
know,
a lot of
crazy
boys.
because it's like my family's all girls, you know?
Yeah. Oh my God, yeah. Wait, what are the boys doing here? That's crazy.
We got a bunch of boys now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe the next one will be a girl. We'll see. But
yeah.
I'm so excited for Mary and Riley. And their nursery room is like, it's like kind of like outer space themed.
Really? Wait,
Which,
that's
like,
so
I
cool.
love.
I don't
Yeah,
think I've
it's
ever
so
seen
cute.
like a nursery. Usually you see like farm themed or like
Yeah.
or like baby duck themed. But like yeah. I don't think I've ever seen a space theme. That's cool.
Yeah, like planets and stars and all
Yeah,
that
okay.
kind of stuff.
That's cool.
It's cute. They have a really cute rug that I'm like, I would put that in my bedroom.
Really? Maybe when Leroy doesn't want it anymore, you can take it.
True. Yeah, so anyways, life is amazing. This is what my tweet was last night, if you guys follow me on Twitter. There's joy in the world.
True.
Everything's amazing. Yeah,
life is so amazing. Truly. I love that.
They wanted, like, Minsky's Pizza, Mary and Riley, whenever, like, you know, whenever after the baby was born, like, that's what they wanted to eat. So Kelly actually drove home, maybe not yesterday, but the day before, and just to, like, be home during all of this. And so my mom and Kelly went and, like, got pizza, and then they were just, like, waiting in the hospital parking lot because, like, they couldn't go in, you know, until so, like, last night it was like 11:30 for me, which is like 10:30 for you guys, and like I FaceTime them, we're all just like chit chatting, like waiting for news. It was kind of fun. I've, you know, felt like I was there, kind of.
That's so sweet. Yeah, I'm glad too that you don't have to. I mean, I like that you were able to plan ahead to see Leroy as soon as possible. So that's going to be so exciting for you to see him so soon.
Yeah, and hopefully, like, I mean, like, I wish I could see him immediately, but hopefully, like, it'll be in a few weeks. Like, Mary will hopefully have had some time to rest, and, like, everyone will be a little bit more comfortable, and, like, hopefully it's just, like, we're able to, it'll hopefully be, like, kind of chill and nice and
not overwhelming,
like, chaos. We don't want to overwhelm her.
That's great. Yeah.
I'm excited. So yeah, that's what's up with me.
Yeah, incredible news. I'm so happy that you decided to share that on the podcast.
Yes.
Yay.
And I asked her, I made sure.
Okay, good.
Is it okay if I shout you guys out?
Just on the pod.
Yes.
Sweet.
Yeah. So yeah. Okay, well, nothing can top that. So
I know, I'm like, where do we go from here, actually? Because that was a way to start the podcast with a bang.
True.
Yeah, well, I guess going forward, we can just say, hey, guys, happy October.
True. We got our fall
theme microwaves. Microwaves. I'm so tired. So sorry, microphones. Our fall themed microphones. I'm wearing a sweater, even though, as I said, it's 90 degrees outside. That's so fine. That's just the way.
Hoodie.
There you go.
There is a hood.
I love that your scrunchie matches your hoodie, by the way.
Thank you.
That's, by the way, we're really pandering to the viewers who actually watch the podcast right now. Laura's got a purple scrunchie on and a purple sweatshirt, and they look so cute together.
Thank you.
Yeah. And also our I almost said microwaves again. Our microphone covers are orange and yellow. So
yeah.
Fall. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I love Halloween. We've already talked about kind of how much we love fall in the last YAP sesh, but like truly like October is the time to really be excited about fall, because like really October is like peak fall. November we start to dip off into like winter depression territory.
Okay.
At least like for me, I don't know. It starts to get a bit dreary in October. Not October, November. And then December is just straight up winter, so it's like, I don't know. We can't everyone's so excited about Christmas, we forget about the lingering essence of fall. But yeah. I was just gonna ask you, are you doing anything crazy for Halloween?
So not for Halloween. Here's what I did that's crazy for Halloween is I bought some PJs from the little boys section at Target that were $10.
That's wild.
And they're like, I just got like the biggest size, and they're cute. They're my cute little Halloween pajamas, and that's what I'm doing for Halloween.
Wait, that's sweet.
I get to have cute pajamas for like the last few days of Halloween. I mean, or of October. I've already worn them, but I'm saving them now till
a special occasion. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I work on Halloween, so I could do something. I don't have any plans yet. I don't know what the vibe of New York is. I'm sure you can go out and be crazy. Yeah. But I don't know if that's like
what you want to do.
My vibe, so we'll see.
Yeah. Okay. I just wanted to see if you had a costume or anything, but I mean, PJs sound fun. I love a quiet Halloween in, because like you don't have to do stuff every Halloween, truly.
Right. Yeah, and the thing is, it's like I just have all these ideas of what to wear. With like me and Sage, like I have so many
couples costumes.
Yeah, but it's like, well, we're not together.
Yeah,
like we're not in the same place. Yeah,
that would be
so
silly.
It makes me sad. What about you? Do you have any plans?
Yeah, so I have a Halloween party a couple days before Halloween, so I have less time than I thought to get my costume together, which is making me panic because I always do this. I'm always like, I have plenty of time to get my costume together, and then it's like I always forget that everyone else is also getting their costumes, so like shipping is like always an issue. So currently I'm struggling. I was going to be Shelley Duvall's character from The Shining, which by the way I watched last night. I have not seen that movie actually in years, but I like love Shelley Duvall.
I've never seen it.
Really? It's it's creepy. I forgot how scary it was. Like my friend Kara kept like, she was watching it with us, and she was like, Danny, are you okay? And I was like, yeah, I'm fine. It's just like I'm properly scared. Like I'm just like really fully feeling impacted by the story. It's just scary because it's like, it's not like a mass murderer who's like coming around killing people. It's like a man who's like trying to kill his family, you know? And it's like that's a little too real. Yeah. It's like the themes are a little too real. So it's like properly scary to me. But it's so good. Anyway, but I was going to be Shelley Duvall from that movie, but can't find brown overalls to save my life. I'll be so honest. so now I'm like thinking I'm going to be Michael Cera's character from Juno.
He's like, Kelly was Juno one time.
Really? I was thinking about also being Juno, but I was like, I don't think I want to like fake being pregnant all night. I feel like that would get really old really quick. You know, like stuffing something in my shirt. I'm gonna be like, I want to take this off. Then I'm just a girl wearing a striped shirt. So, I'll probably be Michael Cera because it's so easy. Like you just have to get like bright yellow shorts and like a yellow sweatband,
a headband. Yeah.
Easy peasy. And that's also like one of my favorite movies of all time. So I feel like it would be good.
I've never seen it.
Really? Fun fact, it was I made a point to make it the last movie I watched when I was like 19 turning 20. Like I like watched it as I turned 20. because I was like, I'm gonna close up my teenage years with like a coming of age classic. Yeah, I was really.
I love that.
Yeah,
it's one of Kelly's favorites.
Really, it's so good.
Yeah. Because, I mean, she dressed up the character, and I know she's talked about it a lot, but
yeah. I remember I had to watch it in my film class in high school, and I remember, I was really, like, I didn't think I was going to like it, and then I watched it, and I was like, this is, like, the best movie ever. Like, I just, like, love the script, so it's kind of a classic for me, but yeah.
Nice. Well, I need to watch it, then.
Yeah, you'd probably like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's so many movies I need to watch. Like, for real. It's like I feel like it used to be like a silly quirk, like, oh, like, I just haven't seen that. And now I'm like, okay, you have no excuse. Like, why, like, Laura, why haven't you seen these? Like, you know, I'm like getting annoyed at myself that like I haven't seen them. Some of the like classics. Yeah.
I feel like you also have the perfect excuse to see them because like you want to go into like performing, and so it's like you can be like, I'm studying my craft, like I have to watch these. So like
my homework, you guys.
Yeah, literally. So like just
that's
you know
true. Okay.
Yeah, whatever movie,
then it'll feel productive for me. Like,
yeah, that's true. Do you remember that one time that you came to my house for a sleepover with the intention of watching all the movies that I've been telling you to watch for years, and you're like, we're just gonna sit down and watch them?
Yeah, we watched 2 of them.
Yeah, what did we watch? We watched Lady Bird and Booksmart. Yeah.
And then the other one was Mamma Mia, but we didn't get to that one. Or Mamma Mia, or like
The Princess Diaries, I think was on there too.
The Princess Diaries 2. Yeah, I've seen the first one.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, but I haven't seen the second one. And isn't there a third one coming out now?
Third one's coming out. Yeah. Everyone's up in kind of
arms about
up in arms about like who's gonna come back to be like Mia's like love interest, because the first one she has a specific love interest, second one she has a different one, and so everyone's like, okay, who's coming back? And by the way, also, who's the best love interest? I do not have a personal huge opinion about this. I will say I prefer Chris Pine. So sorry to the Michael supporters out there. I do love him, but I am a Chris Pine girl.
I don't know enough about it.
It's just second one's just like enemies to lovers, and I found that very fun as a child, and I still do. So it's like it kind of raised me. So
yeah.
So you know,
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I came over and I was like, okay, like, let's get down to business. Like,
you were ready. I thought you were joking for real, and you're like, okay, let's like we're watching Lady Bird. Where is she? Wasn't that also your first rated R movie? I can't remember if that's true or not.
Lady Bird is rated R?
Yeah, for language, I believe.
Oh. I don't know. Maybe. Probably. Okay.
Well, also Booksmart's rated R too for language. So we watched 2 rated R movies that night.
I'm trying to think, like, I know I saw, well, but this was way later. Like, I saw, like, I don't know if is the Barbarian rated R?
I think it probably is.
Yeah, but that, I mean, that was just like a couple years ago, and we watched these movies like 4 years ago.
Yeah,
so they probably were, because I don't know, I don't think, unless I've like just watched a movie where it's like, okay, it's rated R for language, and I just like didn't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Whatever. I was just curious because I couldn't remember. Because I remember watching Lady Bird with you, and there are some scenes in it where I'm like, oh, I forgot actually how like how kind of crazy this scene is, and then I think like you mentioned something, and I was like, oh. Like, sorry. No, because my mom watched Lady Bird for me, and my mom's so cute sometimes because like I'll mention something to her offhand, not really thinking like she'll actually want to like watch it or like engage with it, and then she'll just like secretly on her own like be like watching it. So like I walked in the room one time and I saw her watching Lady Bird on her iPad, and I was like, oh my god, you're watching Lady Bird? She's like, yeah, you said you liked it. And I was like, oh my god, because like I love that it's about like mothers and daughters. And and then later on she told me, she was like, I don't know how I felt about some of those scenes. Oh, so sorry, Mom. It's like, I always forget. It's like one time I told her to watch Fleabag, and Fleabag is not the show to tell your mom to watch, by the way, you guys.
Oh, yeah, I've never seen it.
Yeah, no, not the show. She didn't like it. She said it made her feel icky, and I was like, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
So sorry, Mom. But anyway, so sorry.
Yeah. No, it was fine. I liked the movie.
Good.
But yeah, I think my first PG-13 movie was 17 Again.
Oh, that's rated R.
Actually,
that's rated R. I believe so.
Okay, well,
I can fact check right now, actually, but that, yeah.
Well, I watched that when I was like 13.
Oh wait, sorry. You know what? I'm getting my facts crossed, and I for some reason thought you meant The Edge of 17, which I know is also a personal favorite of yours. That's rated R. 17 rated Again, R? Yeah. So that you did see that before.
17 was probably my first rated R movie.
Yeah, you did.
I love that movie.
You saw that before we watched Lady Bird, so
yeah. But no, the one with Zac Efron.
That's PG-13. That's most definitely PG-13.
I was like, what?
So sorry.
because my older sisters had seen it, and I was like newly 13, and my sister Mary, like, I remember she asked my mom, like, Mom, like, I've seen this movie. It's okay for Laura to watch. Like, can me and Laura watch this together? Like, she was pulling for me, you know?
I love that.
So then I got to watch it. It was like, ooh, PG-13, you know?
Yeah, that movie's so good.
Yeah.
I need to watch again. I remember one time you told me, or maybe you tweeted this, but you were like, I don't want to get a job or go to school. I just want to watch At the Edge of 17.
Yes. There was a time, I think I was either like, do you remember when that came out?
It came out when we were 17, 2016.
Okay. I was going to say it was like end of high school-ish.
Yeah.
And I would watch that movie, lights out in the whole house. I just lay on the couch and watch it on my phone, like this close to my face, you know? I don't know why. I just like, because the way I feel the most immersed is if there's a huge screen, like at the movie theater. Mm-hmm. Or if, like, everything is pitch black and I'm, like, holding the phone this close to me. Yeah. And I just, oh, my gosh. I just loved it. I don't know why. I watched it so many times.
Really? It's so good.
Yeah.
It's a classic. And it came out at the perfect time for us, honestly. So did Lady Bird. I saw Lady Bird my first few months of college when I was, like, literally in the exact same place as Lady Bird was, basically, like, on the edge of, like, you know, like childhood going into adulthood, kind of hating everything, scared of everything. Like that was like a very formative time for me to have seen that movie. So
yeah,
haha.
Yeah, I was a little
to
bit
the people who can't relate. Oh no, sorry, I was just talking about everybody else. You know, it's like those tweets where people are like, oh, being a teenager in 2014 must have been amazing, and you're just like
yeah, it was
kinda, yeah. Kinda, yeah.
It was the most teenagery time of all.
Truly time. Like, I'm so sorry that you guys cannot relate to having the most aesthetic version of Tumblr you can imagine. 1989 release,
the
Arctic Monkeys. Yeah, like literally, like, you guys, if you missed the boat, I'm so sorry, but like it was really the time. Also, it was like a great time because I feel like the internet was kind of like, I mean, it was still like a lot of really interesting, fun things were happening, but it wasn't kind of like a cesspool that like I think the internet kind of is now. So and it was
like Instagram like was literally to post your selfies with your friends, like skating this weekend, you know.
Yeah, and then it was so like, chill.
No ads, nobody trying to sell you anything.
No
influencers.
No.
Just grainy pictures and little borders on every single one.
My god, the borders. Oh my god, when you used to have like a theme for like your Instagram to like I had like maybe in 2015 my theme was like making everything so cloudy, and like I made every photo, like I shot up that, like, I don't even know what effect it was, but it made it so like cloudy to look at.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, and there was a time where I was really into like the blue filter. And I mean, honestly, I loved going to my Instagram because I was like, this is aesthetic. This is cute.
Mine never was.
Really? Well, you've always had more. I never cared about how many people followed me on Instagram. I just cared about what it looked like. And like, you were always beating me though, as far as who was following you.
I just post random things.
Yeah, and people were there for the content. So like, people loved you. Meanwhile, I was churning out, like, I was like, this is a masterpiece. Getting like 35 likes. Yeah.
But here's the worst part is like I remember being in 8th grade and like planning my outfits and planning the Instagram post that was gonna go with it.
Exactly.
Like
that's how it needed to be. That's so true.
Like, oh my gosh, like, okay, I'm gonna wear this outfit and then after school I'm gonna go to my backyard and set up my iPod because I didn't have an iPhone. I had an iPod.
Yep.
And I'm gonna take a video and I'm gonna do poses and I'm gonna screenshot the video and I would do that thing where you could get an app where you like you make it like black and white, but then like you can make part of it color and part of it black and white. Do you know what I'm saying? You can like trace. So there was one where it was like I was wearing like a red sweatshirt. I remember this so I was wearing a red sweatshirt and I had these like Airwalk high tops. They're like knockoff Converse that were like reds and blues and yellows like flowers, and I like made everything black and white except for my sweatshirt and my shoes, and like I thought that was like the coolest thing ever.
I mean, I think there was one I just remember the one of you standing on your bed in your point shoes. Oh my god. Sorry, because that was actually incredible.
Like, every day of the summer, I was like, what photo shoot can I do?
She was, no, like, girl, you were making content. That's incredible.
I forgot about the point shoes.
I think about it all the time, actually.
So, for reference, guys, I had my point shoes on. And I was standing, like, on my tiptoes on, like, my bedposts. Like, I could have broken my leg. But I had to do it for the gram.
It's so iconic to me personally. Like, it's very important for the me community. I love it.
I totally forgot about that. Yeah.
But, like, again, who was doing that? Like, that was original content. It's like, I just remember, everyone wanted to be Vine famous, and I remember, like,
yeah.
I remember making, oh my god, makes me sick to my stomach, because, like, what was I doing? But, like, I just was, like, posting videos of me putting, like, ketchup on my hot dogs in, like, a very, clipped way. I was like, this is good, this is good. Girl, what?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Oh my gosh. I remember on Instagram also I posted one time. I heard this song the other day and this reminded me. It's like, I tried carrying the weight of the world.
Yeah. But I only had you.
Oh, wake me up when it's... That song, I was at my grandma's house. I was probably in 8th grade. And, you know, she had a big farm, big field. And so, like, I took a picture of me doing a handstand. And there's, like, nothing behind me except for, like, sky. So then I flipped the picture so that it looks like my feet are at the bottom and my hands are at the top and, like, the grass is at the top. Do you know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, that's cool.
And I said something like, I tried carrying the weight of the world, but, oh, never mind, it worked.
Yeah. Ate that. Sorry, I think you ate that.
That's the most, like, 14-year-old.
The only Vine I am particularly proud of is my Party in the USA Soldier Boy mashup Vine. And that was a straight up copy of another, it was like a trend on Vine to like just mash up songs. But like I think that's the only one I like.
You know what? That had an impact because I remember when I went on a cruise with my sisters when I don't remember exactly when it was, but Mary had sunglasses on and like some type of scarf or something. She was like, wait, like let's send this to Danielle, and she did the thing so the glasses fell, and she was like, you. Girl. So you were making an impact.
That is. The only thing I want is to be referenced in life. I'm so happy, low-key, that all of my Vines are deleted and I can't find them.
I wish I had mine.
There's only a few I wish I still had. For the most part, sometimes I'll stumble on one that I have like saved to like my iCloud or something, and I'll be like, oh my god, I hate it. I hate it. So
I have a couple on my iPod, and yeah, it's like they don't need to see the light of day, but I think it's funny to watch to just know that they exist, you know.
Yeah, it's like sometimes you'll find an old tweet that I made, and it will be like, I don't even know. One time you literally like you quote tweeted a tweet that like was so embarrassing. It was like hashtag too tired to care or something, and you're like, this is so real. Like, I am so sick to my stomach over the things I used to post.
But the worst part is that sometimes I'm going through our old tweets and I find embarrassing things that I say.
But it's been scrapped from my side.
And it's like, yeah, it's like I replied to you and then I try to click on your tweet and it's like this tweet has been deleted.
Sorry, I literally, I have to delete things if they're embarrassing. Sorry. Yeah, that's why I always tell Laura that if I ever get famous, I'm deleting my Twitter. Not because there's anything bad on there, but because there's so many embarrassing things on there. And I refuse to let them see the light of day. And Laura's always like, okay, but like, just make it private and only let me follow you.
True. Well, we need Twitter circles back is the thing.
I know. I miss Twitter circles. And now all of those tweets, I'm fairly sure, are just like on my timeline. Still not on my timeline, but like in my profile.
Really, just like public?
Yeah, but like you can't like retweet or like quote tweet or like do any of that. Like you can just like it, but you can see it. And I'm like, guys, but like people were kind of
oh my gosh,
being crazy on Twitter.
I need to look.
Twitter
like,
circles. That was like a safe space. You don't know.
I just feel a certain kinship with my Twitter.
Group. I know. It's like something that Instagram's never going to have, unfortunately, for me. Like Twitter is a horrible place to be, truly. But I love her dearly. Like that's that's family. Like she was there for me at my lowest. She's seen like it's like my public diary. Like I genuinely tweet Twitter. I treat Twitter like a diary for me. Like I do not care who sees my tweets.
Yeah.
It's for my purposes only. The amount of times I look at my Twitter profile in a day is like narcissist staring at the pool. You know, like it's like I genuinely am like so I'm obsessed with my Twitter. So I love her. And I love that now it seems really chill. There's only like 5 people on there who truly interact with me and I'm like
right, same.
I'm like, these are my girls. Like I truly like I will ride or die for them.
Exactly. Oh my gosh. Yeah. It's just so good. It's just so us.
I know. Twitter's always going to be us. It's for the us community.
True. Should we now bring up all of our fall recommendations?
Yes, you guys know that this fall is the most exciting time for me personally to recommend and hear recommendations because it's like there's a theme. There's a specific certain vibe and energy people are looking for and wanting to engage with during fall. And so we've got a couple recommendations that me and B have put together that we want to give to you guys.
Yeah, let's do like category by category.
Yeah, okay. So we start with books?
Okay, sure.
Okay, sweet.
So my first book that I would recommend is actually the book that I'm reading right now.
Ooh, okay.
Called Drizzle, Dreams, and Love Struck Things. And I actually have it right here for the viewers. It's by Maya Prasad. I'm not exactly sure how to say the last name. Cute. But I've mentioned this a little bit because Danielle, you were reading a book about sisters, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And this book is about sisters. It's about 4 sisters. And basically it's about each of them finding love. It's like so sweet. But so each sister it's like 4-part book. So each sister has focused on in one part and they go by season and it starts with fall. And I'm already to summer, but it's just been like a super cozy read. Like I feel like now is the perfect time to start it because it's like fall and the book starts with fall. And they like live like their dad owns like an inn. It's called the Songbird Inn. Cute. And it's in the Pacific Northwest on like an island up there. So it's like it's very just like cozy vibes. Like they're always like making lattes and like all the sisters are like like squeezing on the couch to watch a movie together. And like, so if you want something like cozy, if you like simple like love stories where the girl gets what she wants, like, I'm just loving it. It's very like YA. Like,
Okay.
these are teenagers. The oldest sister is like she's like in her senior year of high school.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And then there's two twins that are juniors, and then the youngest one is a freshman. So they're all teenagers, and they each have like a different passion. Like, one of them does photography, one of them bakes, one of them, and so like it's kind of Little Women-esque in that you could like find like, which sister am I? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay. Sweet.
But yeah. And it's a very easy read. Like, it's just comforting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay,
Sweet.
so your turn.
So my first book that I'm gonna recommend, I don't have it on me, but it's called The Hacienda by Isabel Canez, I believe. So the best way to describe this book to my fans out there who care is, I've already brought the show up today, but Fleabag kind of meets Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier. It's like if you took all the complicated codependencies of the relationship in Fleabag, if you took like the hot priest representation in Fleabag, and then take almost entirely the story of Rebecca, of like a girl who's kind of isolated in this house that's a very haunting energy, in a toxic relationship. Vibes. Yeah. If you take both of those and put that into a haunted house in 1820s Mexico.
Oh my God.
That's what this book is. It's super fun. I don't really want to give too much away. I think it's something that you have to go into kind of not really expecting what's gonna go on. But yeah, I read this last summer. I was so obsessed with it. I thought it was like so atmospheric. It's really creepy, really haunting. It's also really, really beautifully written. I think the author has like such a talent for like really creating creepy vibes. And the dynamics between the two leads was like, I think what really sold me. I was so obsessed. So yeah, it's a little slow to get into, I will say, but once you kind of really get into it and like fully decide to like immerse yourself into the story, like it's a swell time. So yeah, if you want a haunted house and a complicated relationship, I say you should read The Hacienda.
That sounds interesting.
Yeah, the audiobook's really great too. So
gotcha. That actually low-key sounds interesting.
Yeah, you might like it. You might like it.
I used to love like scary books when I was younger.
Really?
Like Mary Downing Hahn.
She ate. Oh my gosh. Yeah, she was great. She's so good.
Yeah. Okay, ready for my next one?
Yeah, you can go ahead.
This is one that you've read.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to recommend A Short History of the Girl Next Door. Mm-hmm. This one, the reason I recommend it, which this is by Jared Reck, which if you're participating in our book club,
heck yeah,
our next book is Donuts and Other Proclamations of Love by Jared Reck. The reason I recommend this one for fall is because I remember part of it taking place like over like Thanksgiving or Thanksgiving break. Mm-hmm. And so I just thought, and like I know that it's like the school year starting and like they're in like their first semester of the school year, which I feel like right now is like the perfect time to read that. Mm-hmm. And again, it just has some like comfort. I don't know. To me, it's a comforting book. But I specifically just recommend it because I just remember it taking place like over Thanksgiving.
Okay. No, so that's good. That's a good one like, too, because yeah. I mean, I'm going to be recommending a lot of creepier or like fall-based books on like for Halloween-ish. And so that's a good mm-hmm. book if you're actually like you're not a fan of like creepy books or like maybe like thrilling mystery books, but you want just a coming of age story.
Yeah, it's YA, realistic fiction.
Yeah. So yeah,
okay,
that's a good one.
What do you have next?
Okay, I've got these books on hand. So next book I'm going to recommend. I wanted to try really hard to like recommend books that I knew weren't so popular, weren't on like a whole bunch of people's read for fall lists. So I tried to avoid more popular ones, but this one is fairly popular. But it's one of my faves, so I had to. Okay. I'm going to recommend Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo.
Oh my gosh, yes, you've told me about this one.
I have 2 copies. which is kind of crazy. So I love this book. I don't know how to explain it to people. It's basically, I've tried to explain this to Laura one time. She like saw it on my bookshelf. She was like, so what's Ninth House about? I'm like, oh my God, so good.
Because you know I'm a Leigh Bardugo girl.
I've read it like 3 times and I was like, so good. It's like paranormal, like if you like if it's just like I could not for the life of me explain this book.
Yeah.
I would say the best way to explain it is it's about secret societies at Yale and occultish activities that occur on campus among these secret societies. It's super dark academia based. It's a murder mystery. And it's like the main genres I would say that this book is like paranormal, horror, fantasy. A lot happens in these books. It's so good though. So yeah, I'm not going to get into it. Yeah. Because there's too much. But if you are excited about the idea of secret societies and like very paranormal secret societies, this is your book. I will say it's a tricky book to get into. It has a really hard to follow timeline. It's like split into 2 timelines from 2 different perspectives. So like half of the book takes place in like the winter spring semester of our main character Alex's first year, and that's from Alex's perspective, and then the other half of the book is from her mentor's perspective, whose name is Darlington, and it's like the fall semester of that school year. So it's like a before and after of sorts, but split into like 2 different people's perspectives, and they're very intertwined with one another, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like a lot of back and forth. The first time I read it, I was like, what is going on? You kind of just have to trust the process. And then the second time I read it and I understood kind of what I was going into and what really the outcomes were, it was like, I was like, this is the best book ever. It's just, yeah, I think this is going to sound crazy because you guys know how much we love Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom. I've given those books 5 stars. This book I've given 4.5 stars, but it is my favorite Leigh Bardugo book because Laura's shocked.
No, I'm just curious.
It's my favorite because I think it's her most ambitious work, and you can tell that like she put so much of herself into it. I believe she actually went to college at Yale where this book takes place. And so like you can tell like when she's explaining the campus, like you feel like you're walking the campus. Like the way she's explaining like Alex's stress as like a freshman who's being like spread too thin is so stressful. Like you feel it in your bones. Mm-hmm. It's just like it's incredible. It's a really, 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 really weird book, and I appreciate a weird book more than anything.
When does it take place? Like, what's the year?
It's like it's supposed to be in present day,
like modern day.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was just curious.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, before
that has been like on my
TBR.
mind.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe I need to do it now.
Yeah.
For the fall.
You might like it. I will say though, I don't recommend this book super lightly to people. Like Leigh Bardugo, if you've read any of her other work, you know that she, even in her YA work, does not really shy away from more graphic or gruesome things happening. And so this book is an adult book, and she definitely does not shy away from something. So I think if you guys are like, I think people should check out the trigger warnings before they go into this, just to make sure.
Look it up first.
Yeah, that like everything feels fine for you.
Okay, that's a good one.
Thank you.
I mean, I haven't read it yet, but that's a good recommendation.
Thank you.
Okay, this one. So since you were showing your books, I decided to pull all the ones I had from my bookshelf. So for the watchers, this is what A Short History of a Girl Next Door looks like.
Cute.
My next one, we've probably all read, but I'm gonna recommend the Hunger Games trilogy, along with the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. I don't know why, when I was like thinking about books to read this fall, like I think sometimes like the Hunger Games is not like cozy comfort, but there's like for me there's a sense of comfort in rereading. Mm-hmm. So like I thought like this is one that probably like most people have read.
Yeah. Yep.
And I feel like, I don't know why, it just feels right to read like fall, winter, these books. Mm-hmm. And also I just want to strongly recommend, if you haven't read the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, that's hard to say.
Yep.
Like you should read it. Like especially if you've read the trilogy, and maybe you just like watch the movie or you just haven't gotten around to reading the book, like I really, really recommend it. Because especially if you've watched the movie and you kind of know what happened, I'll just say like in the book, like Snow's character is just like, it's so much deeper. I think the movie's great, but like the book is so much more like in depth and
Yeah.
like I don't know if I want to say darker, but just like there's just more to it.
Yeah.
And it's just so incredible. And I don't know, if you're just like not sure like what to read, and maybe all the other books we're recommending are new and they sound like scary and out there, like maybe just reread
That's
a good trilogy, you know?
Good. Yeah, that's great.
The other reason I want to recommend these books is because I was thinking ahead to the winter, and I was just thinking like,
Yeah.
winter break, it's the perfect time to watch all the movies.
Yep.
So like if you want to think ahead and you're like, oh, I want to reread them and then rewatch them, like now's the time.
Yeah. Yeah, Catching
to,
Fire specifically
like,
is like a very winter book to me. So there you go. There you go. That was a good recommendation. I really like that one.
Yeah.
Well, let's just get into this one because
Okay. Wait, what is it gonna be?
This recommendation is my favorite book series in the whole entire world, and I don't know how to talk about it in a calm manner. So
Okay.
we're just gonna do it. So I'm gonna recommend to you guys The Raven Boys by Maggie Stiefvater. This is, I feel like I've talked to you about this before, Laura.
You have.
Because I've been obsessed with this book series since I was 16 years old. So I'll show you what all my books look like, by the way. It's like, this is insane. This is how heavily they're tabbed.
Oh my god.
I'm psychotic when it comes to these books. And also, this is another book that there's like no good way to explain what it is, because I find myself loving books that are like much more character focused than plot focused, and so it's really hard to describe what like the actual books are about. I'm gonna like give you what basically is kind of like the tagline, almost not tagline, but like, you know, like the really basic quick overview of what this first book is about. You guys should know this is not what the entire series is really about, but like this is how you get people to read it. Essentially, it's about a girl named Blue who comes from a family of psychics, and her entire life she's been warned by these psychics that if she ever kisses her true love, he will die. She literally has no information about it. She doesn't know why, no details. It's just a prophecy that's been like bestowed upon her. And there's nothing that she can do about it. So she basically avoids like every single guy she meets like the plague. The Raven Boys, the very first book, starts out with Blue attending an annual ritual with her family on a day called St. Mark's Eve. And this is essentially a day where all of the soon-to-be dead spirits who are going to die within the year can present themselves to those with sight. These people are not dead yet, just keep that in mind. Blue does not have sight, so she has never seen a ghost before. But what's funny about this year is that she finally sees a ghost for the first time. He presents himself to her. He's Blue's age. He's wearing a school uniform. That's from the private school in town. He tells her his name is Gansey. The fun part about this is that there's only two reasons why somebody is going to present themselves to somebody who does not have sight on St. Mark's Eve. And that is if either you're his true love or you killed him. And so as we know from Blue, those two things kind of coincide, go hand in hand to one another. So the book gets really good, though, in chapter 2 when we move on to the next day. And then we meet this guy named Gansey, who is very much alive and is about to meet Blue for the first time. And the book goes from there. So that's how I typically try to tell people to get into it. I'm going to say this is my favorite book of all time, not because of the plot, because these are the best characters I've ever read. This is what makes me like a found family lover to my core. It's like these characters love each other so much. They like want to live inside each other's skins. Like that's how much they love each other, you know? Incredible. The best characters I can ever recommend to people. A really great, like really strong romances throughout the books if you're a fan of that. Yeah, it's also kind of like the real plot is like it's kind of like a really insane treasure hunt with like a lot of paranormal vibes and activities and happenings very deeply intertwined with all of it. But Yeah, I don't know. I see. The thing is, I have no idea how to tell people to read it, but you need to read it if you haven't. It's incredible.
That was a good intro.
Thank you.
Because it got me interested.
Really?
So.
Okay. It's like my friends know because I talk about these books all the time, and they're like, "So, like, what is this book about?" And I'm like, "Don't ask me that. Like, don't even ask me that. You just have to read it." So yeah, I've been obsessed with these books since I was 16 years old, and I've read them upwards of 6 or 7 times. So
oh my gosh.
Yeah,
and how many are there?
There's 4. Yeah, and then there's also there's like, this is what's so silly about me. There's a second series that follows one of the main characters of this book as he kind of goes off into adulthood, and it's a really good series. I've only read the first book. I haven't even finished that series. I think it's because I'm too scared. I'm really too scared to like fully.
That makes sense.
Yeah, to fully get into it. But anyway,
that sounds interesting. I'm gonna put that on my list.
Okay, wait, yay! If you do read it, don't.
I feel like I'm not gonna tell you.
I was gonna say, if you read it, do not give me any negative opinions because it will crumble. Like, it will break something in me.
I would never.
That's very kind. Thank you.
Okay. My next recommendation is we're taking it back to the 3rd grade.
Okay.
With The Tale of Despero.
This is a really good one.
To me, like, and honestly, I don't know why. This just spoke to me as like, and you guys know from the last podcast, like, I just bought this book. Wait, did I?
I think you showed it. Yeah.
I think so. Yeah. And so, like, when I was thinking about books to read, I was just in my bed and I was looking at all my books and I saw this one and I was just like, I was just thinking, like, again, I guess I was going for more of the comfort.
What's crazy about...
We took this in different
No, what's crazy about me is, like, these are actually all my comfort reads, too. They just have really horrific things also going on, which speaks something about me. But, yeah. But
if you guys have never read The Tale of Despero... It's also a book that is like in 4 parts. And it's about a little mouse and it's about a rat and it's about a girl named Midgery Sow and it's about a princess and how all 4 of them kind of intertwine. And like, this book I think is genius. This is written for like 3rd graders and it's like it's just so good. I don't know what else to say about it, but because I don't really know why I thought of it for fall, but I think I just thought like it's comfort and it I don't know.
No, I think this is like The Tale of Despero is to me the equivalent of like a broccoli cheddar soup. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's the exact vibes that I feel like that book gives.
It's funny you say that because soup is
plays
a big part in this. Yeah. It's like watercress soup, I think, to be specific. But it's like soup.
Yep.
They like outlaw all the spoons because they don't want people to eat soup anymore because of XYZ, I won't say.
Okay.
But yeah, maybe that's why I was called to it.
Yes.
It just, I don't know. And like, I feel like also fall is like when everything is dying, like the leaves are dying and all that kind of stuff. And this book is very like, it's about like finding the light. It's like dark versus light and finding the good. And it's like,
that's so sweet. Yeah.
The opposite kind of.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
That's true. It seems like it's a very much like a book. Like, I think if you're feeling the seasonal depression a bit early, I think like, that might be a pick me up. Yeah. That's cute. I haven't read that book since I was in elementary school, and I really think I need to do a reread. So
I think I reread it. Oh, I reread it when I worked at like a summer camp.
Okay.
And I was in charge of the 7-year-olds, and during snack time, they were supposed to like sit down and be quiet and eat their snack and not be crazy. But they're 7-year-olds, so it was really hard for that to happen. And so sometimes like we would read books to them, and I remember like reading that book. I actually don't know if I read it to like the whole group of 7-year-olds, but sometimes like I would have like 3 little girls that just loved me, and while the boys were playing kickball or whatever, like we would just go sit under a tree and I would read to them.
That's cute.
And I like emailed my 3rd grade teacher, who is the one who like read that book to us and gave me my copy. And I was like, I just want to let you know, like, I reread this book to like, you know, the 7-year-olds, and like I was just thinking about you, and like thank you so much for like giving us all the gift of this book, and like la la. And she found the email, like, because I emailed over the summer, and then like when she went back to school, she was like, oh my gosh, I'm cleaning out my email before like the school year starts, and I just found this, and like this was so sweet, and like
that's so incredible. All right, well, this is my last recommendation, and then I'll let B take over, but or at least for the books. So I'm going to recommend, this might be a little wild card, but this is one of my favorite books of all time. It's called Jane, a Murder by Maggie Nelson. I think this is a very good book to pick up if you are curious about, you know, true crime as a genre. And it focuses a lot on like the actual family and what happens when somebody loses someone that's really important to them, and how grief and the confusion of that will live in the family line for generations. So Jane is a memoir that's told in verse, which is super fun. It's about the author, Maggie Nelson's aunt, who was murdered a few years before she was even born. And she's always felt like a really personal connection to her. And so because of that, she wanted to write this book to kind of confront all of her complicated feelings, and also wanted to give a voice to Jane after her death. It's one of the best books I've ever read. It's truly incredible. It's really transportive. It's fascinating. Maggie Nelson's one of my favorite writers of all time. Yeah.
So this is nonfiction.
Yes. Yeah. So, but it's written in, it's like, the way it's formatted is so incredible. It's written in poetry, in like Jane's diary entries, in newspaper articles. Like Maggie Nelson uses a whole bunch of different things to really tell the story and invoke like real emotions and empathy from the readers. It's incredible. I literally cannot recommend this book enough. It's also really quick because, like I said, it's told in verse. So if you want a quick read and like also one that's going to stick with you for a long time, I feel like this is a really good pick.
I like that.
Thank you. Yeah. So there you go. That's like, it's pretty sad though. So like make sure like you're in the correct headspace. But
you can read that and then
read the Tale of Despereaux. Really, yeah. That's a really good. It's a really good idea.
Okay, yeah, I just have 2 more, and they're actually both series.
Okay, sweet.
So the first one is I wrote down The Dark Hills Divide, which is the name of the first book in a series called the Land of Elyon series. This is another juvenile one. This is like I read 3rd, 4th, 5th grade. I've read this series multiple times. It's me and my little sister Kelly's like I would say our favorite together, like something that we both like our joint favorite, if that makes sense. I thought of these books for fall because there's like, so this girl lives in like a town. They're sort of, I don't know if you would call it a kingdom because I don't think there's really a king, but like where they live is like multiple cities, like 3 or 4 cities that are surrounded by brick walls, and like the roadways between them are surrounded by brick walls. Like their whole thing is completely surrounded by brick and nobody goes outside. And like beyond that is like forests and like ravines and this and that, like, and basically the girl ends up on an adventure where she's going to the other side, and like she finds a way basically underground and gets outside, and she just has there's like 4 or 5 books, just all these adventures. And so this is fantasy in the sense that like this is not taking place on our normal Earth or America or like anywhere in the actual world. It's like its own map and everything. But they live on I don't know if you'd really call it an island, like a plateau. They're like it's like completely surrounded by water. So it's not like a very big place. It's not like Six of Crows is like a
Right.
whole entire world map.
Right.
Um but there's just like I kind of thought of fall for this one because like there's like animals that she ends up having a way that she can like communicate with the animals, and I just like something about the animals in the forest like felt very fall to me. And she also like, you know, she loves to go like while her dad's doing work, because the book actually I think starts during like summertime. um and so like for the summer she and her dad go to the one city, and so she'll spend her days like reading like this and that, which again just feels cozy to me, feels like fall coziness. But then like I love an adventure book, and again with like the animals in the forests and all that, and also like in general I just recommend this book series like so much. There's just like it's just like in my opinion like a really really incredibly well written, and there's kind of like some flashback stuff that happens. Like it's kind of making me think of in Gravity Falls, like, you know, the episode called The Tale of Two Stands. Like there's like something kind of similar to that. Like one of the books is kind of like a flashback book. I just think it's like it's just so good. And so if you like to read like middle school or like later elementary school books, which I love, like I just think this one is so fun, and it feels right to like start it in fall for me for some reason.
Gotcha.
And yeah.
Yeah.
I just love it so much. I literally love it so much. I could do a whole episode on just this book series.
I literally, here's the thing. I feel like I've heard you talk about this book for ages and ages and ages.
Yes.
And I feel like I'm missing a piece of you that I think I need because I haven't read these books. This is how I feel too with Series of Unfortunate Events for you.
You've never read those?
Nope. I have not.
That's crazy.
I know.
That's crazy.
I know. But I told you this before, but like I watched the movie when I was younger, and the movie terrified me so much that I just never got into it. But yeah, but I feel like I should read that sometime. I feel like I didn't really know what it was about. So that sounds very it sounds very sweet.
Yeah, you should definitely try the first one.
Okay.
And then like if it's not really your thing, like I won't hold it against you if you don't read them all. But
okay.
I think there's like 4 or 5.
Okay.
And I mean they're kids books, so they're not like super super long. But yeah, the author is Patrick Carman, who also wrote another series that I love, the Atherton series, which I need to reread. And he also wrote remember the 39 Clues? How it was like multiple.
Yeah, he wrote one of those.
He wrote some of those.
Oh my gosh.
And so like when I was like 4th, 5th grade, like Patrick Carman was like my favorite author.
Gotcha.
Which now like he's still one of my favorites, but I don't know, it's hard to pick a favorite overall. But anyways, I also read The Dark Hills Divide to the 7-year-olds at camp, my little group of girls.
Yes, that's so cute.
Okay, and then my last one, which is more on the vibes of other ones you were seeing, Danielle, is Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children.
Ooh, yes.
I feel like it just like it gives kind of the spooky vibe. So if you don't know anything about it, it's like about a home where I haven't read them in so long and I want to reread them. So I can't say too much because I honestly don't remember, but there's just like people with like abilities, like I don't know what you would call them. Almost like not like a circus, but like they have like different like I think one girl can like float or fly, and one of them, so they have like all these different abilities, but it's like kept on the hush hush. I think the reason I thought of circus is because they talk about like that they used to be the people that would like be in the freak shows.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Right.
And how it like wasn't good.
Right.
But anyways, it's like about a kid. I mean, he's like a high schooler, a guy who basically stumbles into their world, and the people, like, they kind of live in our regular world, but they're kind of not. I don't know, it's so hard to remember because I literally haven't read them in years.
They take place in like basically a different timeline. But
he can kind of like go back and forth somehow. And I've read, I think, about 4 of the books. I'm not sure how many there are, but I remember loving them. And they're very like, it just, to me, it gives like October vibes. Like, kind of like, not ghosts and ghouls, but like that type of thing. Like, strange characters. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's really good. That's a really good way to say that.
So, yeah, I would definitely recommend that. For sure.
Yeah, that's a good... I have not read those books. I think I've only read the first book. One thing that I think is really cool about those books is the author, Ransom Riggs, I believe, went to, like, old, maybe thrift or antique shops and found a lot of old photographs that he put inside the book. And there... I believe that's the story. Maybe they're just photographs that, like...
Yeah. No, I think that's right.
Yeah, that like they like fabricated or something to make look kind of strange and creepy. But like it's like when you're reading the physical book, you see like these creepy photographs as you're like turning the pages.
Yeah.
And like I just think that's a really fun touch to to the book.
Sure.
So yeah, that's a good recommendation. So I can start with my first movie. If that sounds good for you.
Okay, go for it.
Okay, so my first movie I'm going to recommend is a movie called Ready or Not. My cat is on my lap. Hang on. Belly's in the camera. So we'll just do this with my cat here. Hi guys, this is my cat Belly. She is a Halloween cat. She's a black cat. So
true.
This is her time to shine.
It's on theme.
Just don't show your butthole to the camera, please. Thank you. Okay. My first recommendation. Sorry, it's kind of.
Do you want me to start?
No, we'll cut some of this. The first movie I'm gonna recommend. Take a breath.
Take three.
So I'm gonna recommend the movie Ready or Not, and this is a movie. It's a horror comedy. It's about a family. Okay, you have to get down, Belly. Unfortunately, you have to leave because this is making it really difficult. Okay. So it's about a family of a rich family that comes from a board game dynasty. And so essentially many years ago, one of the members of this family makes a deal. They basically make a deal with the devil to sacrifice something every once in a while so that way they can remain rich for all time. So that means that every time somebody in their family gets married, their spouse has to be inducted into the family by playing a random game. And so how this essentially works out with the deal with the devil is that if the spouse happens to pull a card called hide and seek, they have to engage in a murderous game of hide and seek where the family has to kill the new spouse or else everyone in the family will die by sunrise. So... I know it sounds crazy. It's one of the most fun movies I've ever seen in my entire life. It's one of my favorite movies too. My roommates and I watch it like twice a year minimum. So yeah, basically the movie is just about this girl who gets married into this family. She's the new bride and she pulls hide and seek, and so she has to fight her way out of the very murderous game of hide and seek. It's so entertaining. It's like the cast is incredible. It's so much more funny than you think it's going to be. It doesn't take itself too seriously, and it's also like a very it's a proper like thriller / horror film. It's you're on the edge of your seat. There's some gore. It's great.
It like is basically the whole movie like a game of hide and seek.
Yep. And she's basically just like fighting to survive. It's so good. It's so good. Anyway, I just love it.
Interesting. Okay, so I'm just going to preface this by saying, like, my recommendations are probably things most people have already seen.
Okay.
But I just wanted to recommend them for the few random people that haven't.
Okay.
So, my first recommendation is Over the Garden Wall.
Yes.
Which is just, like, that's, like, the classic Halloween show. It takes place on Halloween night. It's spooky vibes. It's pumpkin vibes. It's like, it's literally everything you could want in a Halloween show. But I have talked to some people recently who said they haven't seen it, and I'm just like, you have to watch this. And so if you haven't seen it yet, it's a cartoon show, and there's like multiple episodes. There's probably like 8, maybe. I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, I don't know.
But they're like 20 minutes long. They're not super long. The point is, you can watch this in one sitting, like as if it's a movie. Or you could watch it over a week or whatever you want, but like, don't feel daunted by like, oh, I have to start a new TV show. It's not like that. It's like, you can watch it all at once. But that is just like, if you haven't seen that and you like Halloween and you like fall, like, you need to watch it.
Yeah.
And for all of you guys that have already seen it,
you know,
this is your reminder to watch it again.
It is fall required watch. Like you have to sit down and watch it.
Right.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I haven't watched it yet for this fall, and I need to.
Me neither.
So I'm very excited.
Watching it when I go home.
Ooh,
with Sage.
Oh, smart. That'll be fun.
Yeah.
Sweet. That's a good recommendation. Yeah. Also, I think it's always very fun to recommend things that most people have seen, because a lot of times when I'm watching recommendation videos and like people are recommending books that like I do not know anything about, I'm always like, okay, but like, how do I know that our tastes align, Oh, and so it's like, it's always nice to get in some popular recommendations to be like, well, I like The Garden Wall, so I can trust her recommendations.
Yeah.
The Garden Wall over The Garden Wall. Anyway, so next movie I'm going to recommend is another horror film, but this is like for real, like a comfort film for me, which makes me sick and twisted, low-key. But so I'm gonna recommend the movie It, specifically part 1. I won't get too to it because I feel like a lot of people have seen or just know about this movie, and I don't mean the miniseries, I mean like the movie that came out like 2017 or something. It's basically, as you guys know, about a group of young kids who are being terrorized by a child-eating clown. Super fun. I love this film.
I did not know that the clown eats the children.
Yes. And that is the scariest part of that. That's like,
I thought he was just like killing them.
No, he eats them. Yeah.
Oof,
yeah.
Okay.
It's, yeah.
I've never seen it.
Yeah. Yeah. But there's actually like, I've seen this film so many times. There are specific scenes I have never seen with my eyes because I close it because I don't like gore. Specifically the opening scene. I leave the room every time we watch it. I tell my roommates, I'm like, I can't watch it this time. Anyway.
This time, but it's every
time. But I can truly quote this film, by the way. I think this is another film that's like, well, so it's a coming of age horror film. And for me personally, that's like my favorite type of like combination of genres. Because I love the idea of like taking something that is like so purely about kind of like losing your innocence in a way of like coming of age, and then mixing that with like the actual horror. It's like there's such a loss of like childhood, but like you're clinging on to it so much that happens when you're in a coming of age / horror film. And I don't know, something about it just like, it's always so intriguing to me. I feel like there's so much that you can do with your characters, and specifically the characters in this movie are so good. They're just so great. And they all like, their dynamic together is incredible. So I will say watch it part 1 if you haven't, and then part 2 is really good too, but like I like focusing on the kids personally. So that's my recommendation.
Okay, right along those same lines.
Okay.
I'm going to say Stranger Things season 1 and 2.
Yes. No, honestly, these really coexist.
Yeah. Yeah, especially because like very coming of age, but also like horror. As you guys might know, like Danielle and I love Stranger Things, and like season 1 and 2
peak
are very like fall, Halloween,
Yep.
a little bit into winter, I guess, but like they're like trick-or-treating in one of the episodes, and
Yep.
like, so that is very fall vibes, but then also just like the fact that it's like horror thriller
Yep.
is very like, ooh, spooky vibes.
Yep.
So like, I would like, I of course recommend the whole show, but specifically season 1 and 2. And I feel like most people listening have probably watched Stranger Things, but if you haven't, I want to recommend that you watch it, and don't care about what anyone on the internet says, whether they say they like it or they don't like it, or it's overrated or it's the best show ever. Like, try to watch it without like letting anyone else's opinion influence you, and see if you like it just on your own. Because I feel like it's one of the things that's like, it got so big that now there's a ton of people like, it's so overrated and blah 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 blah. And I don't know, I don't like letting people's negative opinions like affect me, but I also know that like when people are like, oh my gosh, this is the best thing ever, it sometimes turns me away, because I feel like there's like such a high expectation of like, I have to love this or something like that. So if you've never seen it, maybe try it this fall. You might be surprised.
I think specifically season 1 and season 2 are very good television. I mean, I know a lot of people have critiques about later seasons. I love all the seasons because it's kind of like, I'm just always gonna love Stranger Things. But like the first 2 seasons like capture something so incredibly special, and I feel like it was like such a time to be live watching that as the seasons were coming out and everyone on the internet was talking about it for the first time was so incredible. But yeah, a lot of people are scared to watch it. I do know, like, my sister, I don't think has properly watched the show because it's kind of like the very first scene specifically is like spooky right off the bat.
It's scary.
But like, just know there's not actually a lot of gore, and what I did for the first few watches was like, truly, I still do this, I skip certain scenes that I just don't want to see. I actually think that's totally fine. I think you're allowed to skip scenes that you don't want to see.
I do this sometimes, like cover my eyes.
It's like, if you want, like, because I do think like the characters and like the overall like spooky weird mystery plot of the first 2 seasons is like what really truly sells the story. If you don't want to see anything actually scary, that's okay.
Yeah, it's more like psychological, like oh my gosh, and not like, I feel like in the later seasons they play a lot more into the gore. But the first 2, like, you don't really see a lot of like gross like stuff. Which is what I prefer.
Honestly, they're more so comfort seasons for sure. I agree. Of course we had to bring up Stranger Things.
Like, of course.
Okay, well, so I'm going to recommend now, I'm going to go against the grain and actually do a comfort, really sweet fall movie that is just, I feel like everyone's seen it, but like, it's my favorite, so I have to recommend it. I'm recommending When Harry Met Sally, which is a rom-com. It's in my top 3 favorite movies of all time. I genuinely love it to death. It's if you don't know what When Harry Met Sally is about, it's basically about these 2 people who meet after graduating college, and they essentially hate each other so much because they have to road trip to New York together, and during that road trip they just decide that they don't mesh well together, they don't like each other, but so they both move to New York, hate each other, vow not to see each other ever again, but they keep running into each other. So they run into each other a few years later, still don't like each other very much, and then they run into each other a few years later, and then they become friends, and then through their friendship they also start to realize that they have feelings for each other. It's the quintessential rom-com. I don't know, Nora Ephron, she just like kind of she wrote the movie, by the way, but she creates like these little worlds where like everybody speaks in the same kind of weird cadence and like with weird wit and intelligence that she also speaks as, and she just makes it seem like this is normal and everybody here speaks like that. And it's like, it's the same way that like the Gilmore Girls writing is, or like the West Wing's writing is, where it's like, no one really speaks like this, but I am so obsessed with it that I want to be in that world so badly, and I want to act like I also can speak like this. Kind of also John Green does something like this too, I think. It's really fall, winter vibes. It's like peak New York East Coast weather. the leaves are changing in many, like, in the they have a whole fall sequence and then winter sequence.
Maybe I need to see it.
I think I think you'd love it. Truly. It's like the sweaters. Okay. The sweaters are incredible. So yeah.
Amazing.
I'm recommending When Harry Met Sally.
Nice. Okay, I love that.
Yeah.
My next show is Gravity Falls.
Yep.
Okay.
Exactly.
This one, Gravity Falls, is also a cartoon show from Disney Channel. Over the Garden Wall, I think, is Cartoon Network.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like Gravity Falls has had a bit of a resurgence, but I feel like it's not as seen as like Over the Garden Wall or Stranger Things, especially Stranger Things.
Mm-hmm.
So this show actually takes place in the summer, but a lot of it feels very fall because it's about a town where paranormal and spooky things are happening, so it feels very fall. And there's a couple episodes especially that are very fall, like they celebrate Summerween, which is like Halloween in the summer. And so like you'll forget that it's like summertime sometimes when you're watching. This show is like one of the best written kid shows ever to exist ever. And I'm gonna just like shout myself out here because I am told Danielle to watch the show and she was very skeptical.
Yeah.
And she has since, obviously she's watched it, like, I mean, it was years ago, but like she will ride for the show now.
Yeah.
And because it's that good. And I feel like it's like one of those things where it's like, I remember when it was new on Disney Channel and I didn't watch a lot of the cartoons at the time. Like I watched Phineas and Ferb, but that was it. And I was just like, oh, like, why would someone watch that? And then like a couple years later, I was like, oh, let me try it. And it's literally so good. It's entertaining, it's fun, it's silly, it's interesting, and the character arcs, like the overall plot line is like genius.
Yeah.
Like I really think it is so well written, and I feel like a lot of kids shows are more about like each episode, which I don't think is like a bad thing. But this one, like the first season is very like episode, but like as you get into the second season, it's just 2 seasons. Like there's a huge overarching plot that is just like, it's so good, and characters are developed so well, and like things come full circle all the time. And actually I've been rewatching it, and there's like things I'm noticing in the first season that like you would only notice after you like know the ending, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I just like cannot recommend it enough. Like it is literally a work of art.
Yep. Yep.
So if you've never watched that, like you really should give it a chance. You really should.
I agree. I think a lot of people might think it's almost too childish. That's why I was kind of scared to watch it. Also, it's like the way that I viewed it when I was a child was it seemed like a very like boy-ish kind of like, I thought it was almost going to be a little grimy like kind of type of show. But it's like it really does get you really quickly. Like you fall for these characters really quickly. And I think that's what truly sells the show. So yeah, and Alex Hirsch is just like, to me, he's a genius. So
exactly.
So yeah,
exactly. Yes. Okay, did you have any more shows or movies?
No, so you can finish us up.
I just have a couple more. One of them is just, this goes with the books, but the Hunger Games trilogy and the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. So I don't really need to say much more on that. That just all goes together. The Percy Jackson show, I was feeling.
Yes, I've been meaning to rewatch because I was really into it when it was airing. Because,
again, I think I was just like thinking about comfort, and I was just like, and something about like fantastical characters like just feels like Halloween, even if it's not Halloween-y. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And so like you know, it's like the mythological creatures and all that kind of stuff. Like, it just feels like so fantastical. I'm like, ooh, like, those are the vibes. So,
yeah.
If you've not seen the show yet, I would recommend reading the books first. But the good thing is that the show so far is only one season, and it just covers the first book. So you can just read the first book and then watch the show, and then you could finish the other books before the rest of it comes out. But it's very fun. It's very good. Like, it's very true to the book.
Yeah. I really appreciate what they did with this TV show, and I think it's a fun time.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
cast is great.
So true. And then, okay, I have one more.
Okay.
Kind of a wild card here.
Okay.
I'm gonna recommend National Treasure 1 and 2.
I agree. I'm retweeting.
I've been rewatching them.
Yeah.
Just like before I go to bed, I'll just like watch 20-30 minutes, and I think something why it's feeling so fall to me is kind of the colors in the movie are like, there's just like a lot of like wood and like it's not that they're like dark, but they're just like, when they're underground and like doing stuff, it just feels so like dark nature, which feels very fall to me. And also like they feel very academic because they're so like the history and the this and that, and like to me fall always feels very academic because it's like school is starting and all that kind of stuff, which I know like school has been in for like a month or two already, but like I don't know, something about it has been feeling very fall and very like perfect for right now.
That's great. It's like that's
kind of my wild card.
It's an academic or a historical treasure hunt, which I think is like so fun. So that's one of those movies that every time I watch it, I'm like, this movie can't be as fun as I remember. And it is. It's just a good time.
Yeah. They're good. They're good.
Yeah.
Okay. I have a couple snack recommendations.
Yeah, no, let's move through those.
Okay. So my first recommendation, which you guys have probably seen me drinking, is my crisp apple Olipop. I think I've talked about the Olipops on here before. I love them. I like to have a little treat most days, and these are like affordable and also like somewhat good for you. I enjoy drinking them. They're just so yummy. And the apple one, I thought it was going to be very like apple juice-y, but it like
just a hint of
which
apple.
Like it is, but it also tastes, it's like more like bright, almost like more like green apple-y, like I don't know, they're just so good. So
okay,
I recommend those.
Love.
And then my other recommendation is these petite pumpkin spice cookies from Trader Joe's.
Oh my gosh, those look adorable. I've
eaten like 5 boxes of these already.
Obsessed.
And they've only been out for like a month and a half probably. That's like my other treat that I'm having. So anyways, if you have a Trader Joe's near you, they're like $3 or $4, I think, worth every penny.
Love that. So good. Every day I'm sad because I don't have a Trader Joe's near me, so it's like I'd have to go to like a huge city to find it. It's annoying.
Yeah, I wish I had an Aldi though.
Oh yeah, I've got a couple Aldis.
That's like where the deals are. So that was my snacks. Did you have any snacks?
I have no snack recommendations.
Okay. So now I have my others category, which has a little bit of music in it, and I think you said you had music
I've
too.
got a couple music, So
okay.
This is like so obvious. I'm gonna recommend Evermore by Taylor Swift. The album. This was one of those albums that really snuck up on me. I mean, of course, when I first listened to it when it came out, I was like, oh, this is incredible. Like, Taylor Swift, you're a genius. But I was so adamantly a Folklore person. I was like so strongly team Folklore. Not that we need to compare sisters, but like truly I just felt very, very comfortable with Folklore. And then something happened called depression. And I literally, like, this was probably a year after Evermore came out. This, you know, when people are like, this album saved my life. And you're always like, oh, ha, 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 yeah, true. This album saved my life. I love this album. It's so good when you're in the pits and like you truly just need something that feels comforting but also like very, very like relatable, as far as like if you're feeling really like unsure, anxious, sad, etc. This album has it. It's incredible. I think it's some of Taylor Swift's best songwriting. She's got incredible melodies on this album. Some of my favorites include Gold Rush, Champagne Problems. My very favorite Taylor Swift song is Cowboy Like Me, which is on this album. And I'm also a huge fan of the titular song Evermore, which closes the album.
Yes.
It's incredible. Incredible. So that's my recommendation for music. I just feel like most people here who are probably watching and listening are aware of Evermore. So it's an obvious pick, but like just a reminder, she exists and she's beautiful.
Yeah. So true. Yeah. No, Evermore truly is like it for me. It was also the same thing, like Folklore. I was like, well, nothing could ever top this. And I loved Evermore, but it took me about a year, and then I was like, wait a second.
Yeah, it's
wait, she's really good.
I think I'm really starting to like Evermore.
I think I really
it's my favorite Taylor Swift album, so I don't take her I do not take this stuff lightly.
Yeah. I can't pick a favorite, but I can't rank stuff.
That's
I
fine.
just can't do it. The ranking and the rating, guys, like, it's just not in my I just can't. It's not for me. First music recommendation is a playlist on Spotify.
Oh wait, this is exciting.
Called Fall Lo-Fi 2024 Leaf Emoji, Lo-Fi Fall Leaves Emoji, Chill Autumn Beats Leaves Emoji.
I was gonna look this up. I don't even know how to do that. Okay.
So it's Fall Lo-Fi 2024, and then it's like the leaf that like looks like it's like a red maple leaf, I think.
Lo-Fi.
And then Lo-Fi Fall, and then it's
I found
leaves
it.
where it's like three. Yeah, okay.
If you just type in Fall Lo-Fi, you'll find it. Not to worry.
Yeah. That's probably what I typed in to originally find it.
Sweet.
I have been listening to this playlist so much. I just like when I'm walking to and from places and like all that kind of stuff, like I have my headphones on all the time. And like I love listening to like regular music, but sometimes like if I'm just like overstimulated or I just want to like relax, I like to listen to stuff that like doesn't have lyrics. And a lot of what I listen to is like the like Zelda, like Legend of Zelda, like ambiance music.
Okay.
But like I've kind of listened to those so much, and so I was like, I need something fall, and so I was searching stuff and I found this playlist, and there's a lot of good little vibes on there. I kind of love it, and I just like if I'm like stretching at the gym, or I'm like walking and I just want to like feel like I'm just like walking in the city, or like if I'm like journaling at home or reading at home and like I want to put music on, like this is the type of stuff I like to listen to.
Yeah, I was gonna say this is probably a really good playlist if you're like a listener to music when you read. This is really good to put you in the mood for all of those recommendations we gave.
Right, which like sometimes I like a lot of times prefer just like silence, but people are loud outside my apartment all the time, and so like I have to put headphones on and so like listen to something. So this like it's perfect. So if you like like the lo-fi like like the vibes and the beats and stuff and like chill music, I don't know, I've been really surprised with like how many are putting me in like the fall spirit on this playlist. So
sweet.
So okay, what's your next music?
So I'm just gonna recommend an artist. I don't have specific albums or songs truly, but this just feels very fall to me. I'm gonna recommend the artist Big Thief, which is a band. They're great. I don't know if you could tell, I really like it when people are good at writing. So I think Adrian Lenker, who is like the main singer of this band, has some of the most incredible lyrics I've ever heard my whole entire life. And not only that, it's like very like folksy kind of I don't even know how to describe it. Kind of like it's just really well written guitar-y music with really raw vocals. And yeah, I don't know, I just love them so much. And so if you guys haven't really fully taken the time to listen to Big Thief as a band, or even Adrienne Lenker, she has her own music, she's got incredible music also, just try it. Because I think like I get really like envious every time I listen to this music, because I'm like, I'm never gonna be able to write like that. And it's actually insane that people are allowed to just like be able to have like that much control over the English language. So yeah, there you go. I'm recommending Big Thief.
Yeah. Okay. This is like embarrassing, but I put on mine. So I'm currently trying to make a fall Spotify playlist that will hopefully be done by the time we post this. So I'm just gonna recommend.
Girl, literally plug
my own playlist. Which like who knows what's gonna be on there, but I'm in the works.
I'm in the works.
So that's what I'm doing.
Obsessed.
I trying to think of my Spotify name. I think it's like Laura Christina. Or Lolo Nina.
I think it's Lolo Nina, but I can look it up right now, girl, if you need me to.
I think it's like my handle is like Lolo Nina, but then like my name is Laura Christina, maybe.
Possibly.
Or
okay.
Laura Nina. I don't know.
Let me look at this. Laura Nina is the name that pops up when I go to find your profile. There's not really a username that I can give out.
Oh, okay.
So if you look up Laura Nina, you might be able to find her.
Yeah, but you know, you guys can't like make fun of what I'm listening to, so.
This I love.
Like if you see Chrissy wakes up on my top, whatever that year was, 2022.
I
playlist.
Love. Yeah, that was camp of you. That was incredible, actually. Laura Turns 22 is my absolute favorite playlist you've ever made. And it only has Finally Free by the Julie and the Phantoms cast, and then the song 22 by Taylor Swift on it. And I remember Laura invited me over for her 22nd birthday, and we danced around her room with those two songs playing. And we're like, okay. It's incredible.
That was it. That was all I wanted for my 22nd birthday.
Incredible.
Yeah.
So that's great. Yeah, girl, you got some good stuff on here. We have Across the Universe by Fiona Apple starting out this playlist. Yeah. So that's good stuff.
Yeah. It's in the works. It's gonna have a different name eventually. It's just called Fall right now, but
okay, sweet.
I gotta see what the vibes bring.
Sweet.
But yeah. That's my own. You guys should listen to my playlist, I guess.
Yeah, that's great. No, I'm really happy that you did that. Okay, so I have one more music recommendation. Do you have more?
Okay.
After this?
No, I don't have more music.
Okay, sweet. So this is my very final recommendation too. Yeah, so I'm also gonna recommend another artist just because I feel like winter, fall, colder seasons is his time to shine. Also, there's a movie coming out about him very soon. So I'm recommending Bob Dylan as an artist. I love Bob Dylan. I just do. And I can't deny it. So there's a movie coming out about his life with Timothée Chalamet. I think it comes out on Christmas.
Oh, I've seen pictures of that.
Yeah, it's called A Complete Unknown, which is a line from his song Like a Rolling Stone. So I'm so excited. Anyway, I don't even care if it's gonna be bad. I'm so excited. Like, I'm just gonna love it. I know it.
It's probably not gonna be bad.
A lot of people are kind of like, they're like, why is Timothée Chalamet playing Bob Dylan? I don't care, guys. Here's the thing. I don't know Bob Dylan personally. I'm gonna enjoy it no matter what. Yeah. So anyway, I've been listening to him so much lately. He's one of those artists who, like, I'm sure everyone knows who Bob Dylan is, but like, if you don't, I wouldn't say he's the greatest singer in the whole entire world, but like, he's endearing to listen to. Like, his voice is endearing because it's like not great, but like, it works with his music. He is like an incredible songwriter though. My favorite right now is a song called Mama, You've Been on My Mind. Obsessed. His voice sounds horrible. So good. I mean, truly, if you want to listen to another better cover, listen to George Harrison's cover of Mama, You've Been on My Mind. But like Bob Dylan, he's the original. He's got great songs like Rolling Stone, classic, so good. Hurricane, classic, so good. Blowing in the Wind, another classic, so good. Take your pick, you guys. He's great. It's like Bob Dylan's notorious for just having like a light jacket on and when it's like negative 12 degrees outside.
Okay.
And so it's like that's just the vibes. That's the vibes. That's the vibes that we have to be going into.
Gotcha.
For this winter season. So yeah, Bob Dylan. There we go.
Okay. I liked that.
Thank you.
I liked that. I know some of his stuff. I gotta do some more research.
Yeah.
Though. My last recommendation is just to get yourself a little pumpkin that's like 89 cents or 99 cents. You know those little orange ones? I have one. I don't have it in here with me because I have it out on our like kitchen table as fall decor, but
cute.
I think we all deserve to have a little bit of like fall cheer in our home. And if you don't want to spend like $1 million on like decorations, like you can get a pumpkin for less than $1.
Yeah.
And it's just like makes me so happy every time I see it. And what's great is that it's like it's going to decompose at some point, so it's not like I'm like buying like a decoration that, you know, is just going to like sit somewhere after Halloween and do nothing. You know what I mean?
True. You're right. You just give that back to nature.
Yeah. And then it's like I don't have to pack it if I like move soon.
Yeah, that's great.
So, yeah.
What a cute recommendation. I think I'm going to do that actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's adorable. Cool. Well, sweet. Yeah. All right. I felt really good about that. That took a lot longer than I thought it was going to. I was like, it'll be really quick, like 30 minutes or so. I think we've been chatting for an hour.
Well, it's because we like gave reasons and backstory.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. So I hope
we're not quick.
No.
Like I want to give details.
Yeah, it's like the whole reason why we have a podcast is because we don't know how to keep it short and sweet. Because if we did, we just
literally,
you know. So yeah, we hope you find at least something in there that you might be intrigued to start or take a look at during this fall season, or if you're listening to this, say, in April of next year. Just whenever you want to listen or read or watch a movie that is a little spooky or a little comforting, hopefully this could be for you.
And if you watch or read anything new that we told you about and you liked it, you should totally tell us about it.
Please.
Or if you want to tell us anything else, you can email us.
Yes.
At readthelastpagebookclub at gmail.com.
Yeah.
It's spelled exactly how it should be spelled. No punctuation, no capital letters, just readthelastpagebookclub at gmail.com.
Yes.
We'd love to bring the listeners into this world more.
Yeah, you know? We want to be engaged with you guys, so please engage with us.
So feel free to email us. I feel like I forgot to mention that on our last episode.
Yeah,
so.
We should add it into our little our outro script kind of situation. So
not
sweet.
That we have to read a script.
No, we're off book. What are you talking about? We've been doing this for 6 months. Anyway.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else though, or I feel like that's a good note to end on.
Yeah, I think we did a lot. It's interesting though because I feel like we haven't done a whole lot of talking back and forth about our lives, but like we've been doing a lot of talking, so it feels like a different YAP sesh. But I'm really happy because I've been wanting to do a YAP sesh with a more
like a focus.
Yeah. Exactly. So this feels good. Sweet.
Yeah. Yay. Okay, well then thanks everyone for listening to Read the Last Page. Our music and illustrations were created by the wonderful Sage Timothy.
Yeah, if you don't know our schedule yet, we host a book club episode once a month. So this month we'll be reading Donuts and Other Proclamations of Love by Jared Reck. So if you want to join us for our spoiler-filled conversation about that book, make sure you pick it up if you haven't already. And you can look out for that episode on the first Wednesday of November. We're in October right now.
Before we get to the last page, though, we want to say thanks for listening. You can find us on your podcast platform of choice, or if you'd rather watch your podcast, you can always find us on YouTube at Read the Last Page. And for now, we want to say bye from B
and Dan.
Bye.